Hello, my name is Anutam Preetham, and in this lecture, I want to educate you all about the infamous Great Pacific Garbage Patch and how the ocean plastic impacts our global economy and cultures around the world. But first, let's set the foundation right. In the early 20th century, plastic became a name for a category of materials called polymers. The word polymer means of many parts, and polymers are made of long chains of molecules. And there are many polymers found in nature, like cellulose, which is a carbon-based organic compound that is a part of plant cell walls. So at first, we would use both natural polymer and synthetic polymer to make plastic. Synthetic polymer is just another word for man-made polymer. As we approached 1907, we learned to make fully synthetic plastic, and this worked so well. The thing about synthetic polymers is that they often have longer chains of carbon atoms than those found in nature, and because of the long length and a repeating pattern in how they're arranged, are the reasons why they're so strong, lightweight, and flexible. So to get those carbon atoms, we used petroleum and other fossil fuels. Then, people saw greatness in plastic because of how useful it was in World War II. In order to preserve natural resources so that we don't use it all up for war, we turned to plastic, and it was an amazing substitute. It helped create parachutes, ropes, body armors, helmet liners, aircraft windows, and more. In the 1950s, plastic was all over the news, and the US had increased plastic production by 300%. Just imagine how much fossil fuel was burned. But that didn't matter. All you could see was how useful plastic was. Nowadays, plastic is everywhere. Like, just look around your room. You'll definitely find something that is plastic. It was a good discovery to make, but unfortunately, we were not smart with it. Here's the thing with plastic. Plastic does not decompose. It is non-biodegradable, meaning that living organisms or natural processes cannot break it down because it has chemical bonds of carbon atoms that are very strong. So instead, plastic goes through a process called photodegradation, where it breaks apart into smaller pieces when it absorbs the sun's UV rays. See, we either throw away the plastic in trash cans or we litter. From trash cans, it will either go to landfills where it will spend its lifetime there, and people allow this hoping for photodegradation to fix the problem, even though the plastic in landfills can produce toxic chemicals. Or it could end up in incinerators, but this also has a negative impact on the environment because burning plastic releases CO2 and other greenhouse gases. Luckily, some have ended up in recycling centers, but that is only 9% of the plastic thrown away. When we litter, or if it is in landfill, most will usually be carried away from the wind or the rain to the ocean. People had first found plastic debris in the ocean in 1960s, and now, according to the United Nations Environment Program, around 75 to 199 billion kilograms of plastic is currently in our ocean. And an infamous area to fill tons of this debris in the ocean is called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, or GPGP, or also known as the Pacific Trash Vortex. It is made up of two parts, a western garbage patch near Japan and the eastern garbage patch, which is between Hawaii and California. Both of these are linked together by the North Pacific Subtropical Convergence Zone, which is located a few hundred kilometers north of Hawaii. The entire GPGP is bounded by the North Pacific Subtropical Gyre. This gyre is formed by four currents rotating clockwise and covers 20 million square kilometers. The center of the gyre tends to be very calm and stable, so the circular motion of the gyre brings debris into the stable center and it is just stuck there. If we remember, plastic is non-biodegradable, so they just simply break down into tinier and tinier pieces in the center. They become so tiny, they become microplastic, which can't always be seen by the naked eye. People have estimated that the patch is twice the size of Texas, and it could approximately hold 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic, some being macroplastic, but most being micro. The marine debris can be very harmful to the marine life, as many sea animals mistake plastic for food and eat it, like loggerhead sea turtles, who often mistake plastic bags for jellyfish. Furthermore, plastic disturbs the marine food web. The microplastic and other trash on the ocean surface blocks sunlight from reaching to the plankton and algae below, which is the energy they need to produce their own food. If they are threatened, then animals that feed on them, such as fish and turtles, will have less food, and then those animals are threatened, so there'll be less food for the bigger fish like tuna, sharks, and whales. It is like a domino effect. For the ones alive, they'll be stuck eating plastic, which is terrible for their health, since plastic absorbs pollutants like polychlorinated biphenyls, which is a hazardous chemical that you don't want in your body. This ocean plastic problem severely affects us students right now and in the future, along with the global economy. When an ocean marine ecosystem is healthy, it provides positive and profitable services like carbon storage, which is the ability of the ocean to absorb and store carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Climate regulation, as the ocean can trap heat, a food source for humans, educational opportunities, and tourism. It is estimated that in 2011, the marine ecosystem created a value of about $49.7 trillion a year, but due to marine plastic, there has been 1 to 5% decline in the ecosystem services, which means that about $500 billion to $2,500 billion in value was lost. Then in the aquatic industry, plastic can reduce the efficiency of fishing that people depend on for food. Seafood is very valuable for humans. I'm sure that some of you eat seafood, as more than 3 billion people do so. So if there are fewer fish in the market, it will become very expensive, and the ones that are caught will most likely have plastic. So now plastic enters the human food web. Furthermore, in tourism and ocean research industries, not only does the marine environment and its wildlife provide fulfillment and enjoyment, but it also provides income for many people and assists countries that rely on tourism, which boosts the country's economy and popularity. For the many students who want to explore, research the ocean, or for anybody that just wants to tour oceans, if the only thing found is plastic or dead fish, that would suck. As the Ellen MacArthur Foundation predicted that there could be more plastic than fish in the ocean in terms of weight by 2050. Additionally, plastic contamination in the ocean affects human cultures. To highlight one of them, in Hawaii, for centuries, fishermen have used their native seabirds like the band-rumped storm petrel, Hawaiian petrel, and the New World shearwater for wayfinding at sea. Depending on the time of the day and which bird is spotted, they would know how far they are from shore. Fishermen also watch for clusters of seabirds as they can lead to schools of fish. There is also an ancient practice, the Hawaiian featherwork, where you would weave colorful feathers into regalia, which are decorations like cloaks, capes, feathered helmets, and feathered staff that the elite class of people wear. But nowadays, many of these birds are becoming rare to find as plastic is a big problem. There are many cultures out there, just like this one, that have species a part of them, but mistake plastic for food, making it harder for cultures to perform their practices. Fortunately, there is hope. In September 2024, Ocean Cleanup, a non-profit organization, declared that GPGP can be eliminated in 10 years at a cost of $7.5 billion. However, this cost is minuscule because they said that today's ocean plastic pollution costs up to $2.5 trillion per year in damages to industries, economies, and governments. So they asked governments around the world to help with the funding. Since the costs can be decreased to as low as $5 billion for just 5 years to clear up GPGP if they keep getting support and keep working hard. As of August 2024, the organization has collected over 16 million kilograms of trash from oceans around the world using net extracting machines. However, they are taking a gap year in 2025 to properly make an effective plan to find good hotspots where big clusters of plastic are located in GPGP. I hope that in this lecture that you can take away that ocean plastic is a serious problem and needs more awareness. So stay safe, educated, and thank you.